Welcome to Skytech-Lens, August 2025. American industry reels from a self-inflicted wound, a sudden 50% tariff on semi-finished copper products, imposed by executive order. The goal? Protect American industry. The result? Chaos. Supply chains are in disarray. Prices for essentials are soaring, and the market's reaction was immediate. Copper futures plunged nearly 20% in half an hour. Instead of strengthening the economy, the tariff detonated a key artery of American manufacturing. The administration targeted semi-processed copper, bars, tubes, sheets, foil, wires, the building blocks of modern life. By hitting this middle stage, the tariff caused a massive economic blood clot. Companies now face crippling cost increases with no ready domestic supply to fill the gap. The logic: make imports expensive, and companies will buy American. The reality: American sources can't keep up. Thus begins the great copper caper of 2025, with businesses and consumers caught in the crossfire. Here's the paradox: raw copper prices crash, but finished copper goods in the US skyrocket. The 50% tariff means a ton of copper pipes that cost $8,600 now cost nearly $12,000. The tax is unavoidable, calculated on the product's value, not the raw metal. Factories are squeezed, existing inventory loses value, new supplies cost more. Profit margins erode, planning becomes impossible. The tariff covers essentials: bars for construction, tubes for plumbing, sheets for roofing, foil for electronics, wires for the grid. These aren't luxuries, they're infrastructure. The cost increase ripples outward, hitting housing, energy, defense, and tech. Cheaper copper, pricier goods, a direct threat to US competitiveness. The paradox isn't just academic, it's a blow to affordability. American industry is paying the price. America's copper supply is a fragile patchwork. Domestic mines produce about 1.1 million tons of copper cathode, nowhere near enough. Recycling adds 820,000 tons, but it can't bridge the gap. The rest, 760,000 tons, comes from imports, now hammered by the tariff. These imports from allies like Chile and Canada are precisely processed for US factories. Only 8 US facilities can make the high-quality copper bars industries need, and just 2 primary smelters remain. Building more takes years and billions. The tariff severs a vital supply line with no domestic backup. It's like banning imported coffee when you have only 2 coffee farms. The supply chain is now on a knife's edge. The copper tariff is a direct hit to America's core industries. The energy sector's green grid expansion is threatened as cable costs soar, delaying critical projects. Construction faces skyrocketing prices for plumbing, HVAC, and wiring, costs passed to homebuyers and renters, worsening the housing crisis. Defense and electronics are squeezed, copper is in jets, missiles, and microchips. The tariff is a tax on national security and innovation. The US chip industry, trying to reshore manufacturing, now faces higher costs and tougher competition. Across sectors, a policy meant to help is causing severe unintended harm. The result: delayed projects, lost jobs, and eroded competitiveness. America's industrial base is under siege. The pain is real and it's everywhere. The numbers are staggering. The national grid expansion faces a $2.3 billion deficit, with cable prices up 23%. Residential electricity bills are set to rise. Defense: the Patriot missile system now costs $17,000 more per unit, adding $104 million to the Pentagon's budget. Electric vehicles: $1,700 more for US-made, $3,500 more for those assembled in Canada or Mexico. Automakers are raising prices, slowing EV adoption. Construction copper pipes for HVAC jump from $7,000 to $10,400 per ton, adding $650 to each apartment and slowing housing starts by 21,000 units a year. The Texas chip facility faces $720,000 in extra monthly costs, eroding margins by 5%. In every case, the tariff is a direct tax on progress, security, and prosperity. The consequences are measurable and deeply negative. American consumers and industries are footing the bill. The tariff's damage goes beyond higher prices. It's a supply chain crisis. Financing imports is now riskier and more expensive, with banks raising rates and demanding guarantees. Inventory values drop as global copper prices fall, but new supplies cost more. Profits erode. Investors get spooked. Companies scramble for alternatives, but US capacity is maxed out. Recycling more scrap is costly and unprofitable with high energy prices. New mines, years and billions away. There are no quick fixes, just mounting pressure. The industrial ecosystem is being strangled, not protected. The supply chain is squeezed from every angle. Relief is nowhere in sight. The copper tariff's effects are rippling through the economy, It's fueling inflation, complicating the Fed's job, and keeping borrowing costs high. The tariff was meant to protect jobs, but manufacturing layoffs now outpace any mining gains. Factories are scaling back and job losses mount. Financial markets are rattled, copper price volatility is up, and the chaos is spilling into stocks. The copper market is dysfunctional, with storage and supply dislocations. Investors are nervous, and the economy is less predictable. A single tariff has made the market more volatile and frightening. The cost is national, not just industrial. The tariff was meant as a surgical strike, but global trade is a tangled web. Exporters are dodging the tariff by rerouting copper through third countries, relabeling origins to bypass U.S. duties. This adds shipping costs, delays, and administrative headaches. U.S. ports and customs are overwhelmed, with containers stuck for weeks as origins are investigated. Manufacturers relying on just-in-time delivery face crippling uncertainty. The system is slower, more expensive, and less reliable. Politically, backlash is mounting. Powerful industry coalitions are demanding exemptions, arguing the tariff is crippling business. The White House faces a messy battle: stick to the policy or start granting waivers. The policy's fairness and effectiveness are under fire. The long-term threat is clear. The tariff risks derailing America's green energy ambitions and global competitiveness. If it stays, the U.S. faces $49 billion in extra green investment costs over 5 years and a 7.5% slowdown in renewable energy growth. Missing 2030 climate targets is now a real risk. The tariff is a tax on the future, not just copper. Investment is stalling. Nexans has suspended its new cable factory and others may follow. The U.S. is becoming too expensive and unpredictable for new industry. Political pressure is mounting for relief. The administration must choose, double down, or admit the policy's flaws. The stakes: America's economic direction and its place in the global race for green technology. The answer will shape prosperity for decades to come. Thanks for watching a video, and subscribe the channel now. Thanks.